Gotta clean my glasses. Hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. Today we're going to talk about rice. Arsenic. Arsenic in the Philippines and rice. Yeah, how bad is it? Well, we're going to talk about that. I have a gentleman, Thomas O'Reilly. He's lived here for 16 years on and off. He's back in the States now full time. And the reason why he went back is health and things like that. But we're going to talk about something that he did. And he wrote me a long letter today. And I'll kind of go through it. But before I go through the letter, I want to talk about his story. His story is he was sick, stomach pains. Couldn't figure out what it was. Couldn't figure out why he's having stomach aches so bad. Ruth and I had the same problem. And I wonder if we didn't have high intake arsenic in our rice. We got to the point to where her and I both at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning every day would go and be in the bathroom 2-3 hours. Just pain upon belief in our stomachs. I thought maybe, I don't know, I'm old, I'm thinking, well, I got problem. What is this? What is this? I got stomach flu. Well, come to find out, it may be arsenic that was in my rice, and maybe arsenic that I've been consuming that I did not know. Did you know that the Philippines has great rice, some of the best rice in the world, but I would say a lot of it is shipped in from China and Vietnam and other places, not just necessarily here. So this year, supposedly, it's going to be the very first year they've ever not imported rice in. We'll see how that happens and if that works. But we're going to talk a little bit about arsenic in your rice. Guys, there are various methods to detect arsenic in rice. You can have it tested. There's laboratories to test samples that are accredited here in the Philippines to test rice. If you think that you have this problem, have your rice tested. A lot of people don't realize you can buy rapid test kits for commercial rice to test it if you have arsenic. Our pain would be so bad in the mornings. Ruth would have it because we're eating white rice, and of course the red rices and the other rices are should have less arsenic in it. We stopped eating the rice completely, just completely. Thomas O'Reilly was saying that's what he did. He stopped eating the rice completely. But he had to eat it because it's the only food available for him. Not only food, but the only food, you can't always get lettuce here. You can't always have breads. You can't always get what you want. So sometimes you have to have rice. Every time I eat rice, I'd be sick. Just so sick. And that was me. That's me. And I often wondered about that. And so he was telling me that, so he had his rice tested. He said, I went to Manila and I had my rice tested. I took the rice that I was buying, I took a little bag in there, said, here you go, test. It cost him $50. Test this rice, see what's in it. High levels of arsenic. Well, sir, you can boil this and get the arsenic. He said, no, you can't. Well, you can do this. He said, no, you can't. He said, I've been doing a lot of research about this and a lot of things, not just necessarily on the computer, but he said, I've actually talked to someone in the United States of America that gave me on the pros and cons of eating rice when you're overseas. If you have these symptoms of stomach aches and cramps and not feeling well and sick and feel like you got to throw up all the time, maybe you need to look at the rice. His test said exceeded 50% more arsenic than you should be able to consume. It's like point whatever. I'm just going to say I don't have it in front of me here. Maybe I do in my sheet here. It's 0.10 milligrams, not milligrams, it's micrograms. Milligrams. Okay. Normally there's 0.2 milligrams of arsenic in per kilo of rice. Normally. Consuming rice exceeds the limit may release a risk of health problems such as skin lesions, cardiovascular disease, a lot of different effects in your body, cancers and things like that. So he had it tested. The doctor told him to just completely stop eating rice. He did, and he felt better. Went back to the States, and his stomach was just tore up. They had found all kinds of lesions inside his stomach. He's just really a mess from eating the rice here. So he reached out to me in an email, and he said, and I've been, this has been going on with me ever since I've been here. stomach aches, sick, not feeling well, and I'm wondering, why is this? I go back to States for a month, I'm okay. I come back, just whatever. Go, and they started getting sick. Go back to the States, I'm feeling good. Now why? Well, I think it's because my rice. Be very careful on the rice. Choose rice varieties that are known to have lower levels of arsenic, such as your red rice, your black rice, things like that. It said wash the rice before cooking it. Make sure you wash it really well. Boil it, wash it, and so to get some of the arsenic out. But it doesn't believe all the arsenic. There's arsenic going to be ingrained in the grains of rice. They say it's in the hulls themselves, but actually it's in the grains in the rice. How much arsenic's in the Philippines? Well, there's a study that's been done on this, that they're realize that they have regions here that's high arsenic. If you live in a region that has high arsenic in your rice, and you wonder why you're getting sick, and you wonder why your cardiovascular and some of the other things are happening, maybe you need to look at that. Arsenic is something that it's because of the rice itself, and the rice fields, rice paddies, the chemicals in the ground. See, a lot of areas still using DDT, and they've been using it for years, still using it to this day. And even in my areas and some of the Visayas, they're still using DDT, even though it's banned, and even though you're not supposed to be using it, it's still widely available. I mean, you can buy it, all that stuff. So they're still using that stuff. So imagine that sitting in a rice field when you're getting ready to eat rice, a few months later. So arsenic is something that you really got to really think about it. Basmati rice, jasmine, red rice is good. Black rice is good for you. And you can actually get that out of Thailand. Jasmine, that's where we're getting ours, out of Thailand now. I'm not buying any rice here. Not one rice. I'm not eating any rice here. I'm not touching any rice here. Not because that it's bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you believe and you're getting sick on your rice, you may have it tested if you're not feeling well. These varieties found that I just mentioned, the basmati, the jasmine, the red, the black, are something that you may need to look at, and make sure that you have, make sure you wash it thoroughly and things like that. A lot of people don't realize that rice and things like that are really good for you. Rice is very good, and there's so many things that is beneficial eating rice, but then again too, you have to be careful how you're consuming it, how much you consume, limitations on the rice. You consume too much, remember, it turns to sugar. Once you eat it, the insulin levels goes up, and it turns it into like eating 7 or 8 teaspoons of pure sugar. So make sure you wash it well, keep it well done. I was actually going to put this on my healthy lifestyle channel, and I think I'll put this on my regular channel, because this is very, very, very important. That if I'm getting sick, and Thomas O'Reilly sent me the report on it. I'm not going to sit here and bore everybody with a report. I'm just saying, if you're not feeling well, go get your rice tested. If you're feeling well, okay, fine, you eat the rice, you're fine, who cares? But if you get in a situation you're not feeling well and you're feeling sick and things like that, because the government did last year, in 2019, they had a problem with a lot of rice here having, and I did read an article on this, having arsenic in it. So they came up with a program, and they put together measures to monitor and regulate the amount of arsenic in the rice, and since 2019. And they've really been trying to really watch that and do that, because there was people getting sick, and a high level of all kinds of things that are happening to people with the cancers and things like that. So I'm saying the guys that live in maybe wherever you live, and wherever you're buying the rice from a local guy down the road, maybe you need to have it tested, and maybe you need to buy from someone that is, I would say reputable. That's wrong words. I find someone that has experience selling rice and selling rice for many years, and maybe find some rice that maybe don't come from China, don't necessarily come from the Philippines. Maybe look at rice overseas, like Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, places, Vietnam, that you might can find a little bit better rices. Their way they do things is a little bit different there. They still do it in the paddies, but they don't, not like here in the Philippines, as like it is anywhere, but they put a lot of chemical on the mountains here on the crops, and that chemical runs down in the water fields, and it runs eventually into the rice paddies. And then of course the paddies are stagnant water, and so it gets in the paddies and it's stagnant, which causes a lot of arsenic and things coming in. And it's done by the plants and the soil and everything else. A lot of things causes it. And a lot of people find themselves not feeling well and find themselves sick, which is me. And I eliminated rice last 4 days. You'd be surprised. I got energy like crazy. And I'm not like, oh, my stomach hurt so bad. Her and I both. She would be on one bathroom and I would be on the other bathroom. And at 4:30 in the morning, and said, we got problems. The doctor said, stop eating the rice. Well, why would he say that? Why did you say that? Why did you tell us stop eating rice? No reason. Well, it may have high levels of arsenic. Well, I didn't think anything about that. To Thomas O'Reilly today, thank you, Thomas O'Reilly, to tell me that you had to go back states because too much arsenic in there, the high levels enough to cause you for a sickness and or death. That's how the doctor put it. You keep eating that, you would have not been here a year from now. So make sure you take the time and watch what you're eating in your body's here. Not everything. People say, oh man, I go to the vendors and I eat street food. I have not gotten sick one time. Wait till you get sick one time. It's that one time that'll kill you. It's that one time that you don't think about it. Not everybody uses fresh water. Not everybody has fresh water. Sometimes they get it out of a well. Well, where does that well water come from? It comes from the same place everything else comes from here. Like here on this street, there's only 5 people that have water, fresh water. I'm one of the 5. The other ones do it all by well. So imagine what these people are drinking all the time. Well, she had liver cancer. They're sick. She's got some kind of cancer. And this other lady has something going on in her ovaries and don't know what that is. That's 3 right here. And they're all out of the wells. Not saying it's the water. Not saying it's the water, but sad to say somebody's 25, 30 years old and passes because of liver cancer. She never drank. Not one time. Never had alcohol. Never had anything to even think about it. She was, just the girl stayed here at the house on the phone and everything else. So it just happens. So you have to really think about what you eat. You're in a different world here, and eating and drinking the foods, you got to really be careful on what it is. And I may just put this up today or tomorrow and let everybody. But there's a limit of consumption on rice. You shouldn't do that. It said that rice that exceeds the maximum limit had skin lesions and cancer in young children as young as 10 years old. I should read you the article, but I think it'd be so depressing that I would probably get people just get mad at me. 10 years old, and they started eating rice at a young age, whatever age that is, probably 3, 4, 5. And so for 5 years they got cancer. And skin lesions, since babies are having skin lesions. Cardiovascular disease as young as 12 years old. So you have to really take a look at this. God bless everybody. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time on Tom and Ruth Adventures.